freeze whenever the camera is pointed in your direction, or you try to avoid being in front of the camera completely, you're definitely not alone. As an adult, feeling camera shy is very normal and completely natural. But what about those times in your life where you can't really afford not to be in front of the camera? Perhaps it's the birth of your first child, or your first photograph holding your new baby, one of your children's first days at school, or their birthdays. Do you really want to look back in 20 years' time and not be in any of those photographs? The good news is that even if you do feel very camera shy, there are things that you can do to make being in front of the camera feel much easier. And in this video, I'm going to share 8 strategies with you that you can use to feel more relaxed and more confident in front of the camera. So number 1 is practice having your photograph taken at every opportunity. Now, if you are someone who's camera shy, you probably avoid having your photograph taken at every opportunity, and you're probably usually the one taking most of the photographs. But like everything in life, practice makes things easier and practice makes perfect. So whenever you have the opportunity, whether it's snapping a selfie or getting into a group photo with your friends or family, take the opportunity. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the easier it will feel and the more relaxed you will feel too. So number 2 is recognize that if you don't like a photograph immediately, you may well like it later. If you're anything like me, then you've probably seen a photograph that's just been taken of yourself and thought, oh, I look awful, I hate that photo. And then you've come across it a couple of years later and realised that actually you look pretty good. We're all our own worst critics, and we can all look at a photograph of ourselves and see all the flaws and not see any of the good in it. But actually, chances are in a few years' time, or in many years' time, you're going to be so pleased that you do have that photograph. So even if you think at the time, I'm not going to like this, it's worth having the photograph taken, because chances are in a few years' time, you will be really pleased that you have it. Number 3 is choose your photographer carefully. Now, when you're having your photograph taken professionally, chemistry plays a massive role in how relaxed you're going to feel during the shoot and how relaxed you're going to look in the photographs. If you find a photographer who you click with, who you can easily chat to and you've got good chemistry with, and whose style you really like, then chances are you're going to feel a lot more comfortable about the photographs that result from that shoot. Now, when I'm planning a shoot with a client, I'll always talk to them on the phone, hopefully before they book, and if not, a couple of times leading up to the shoot. And that really allows us to get to know each other and really build that chemistry. So on the day, we feel like we know each other already. Make sure that whoever you choose to have your photo shoot with, you speak to them before you book and in the run up to the shoot, so that you can feel really relaxed with them on the day and use that opportunity to assess whether they are the right photographer for you. So number 4 is to visualize the shoot going well. Now, visualization is something that a lot of professional athletes use a lot to help them perform at their best on the day of an event. Wayne Rooney has talked about how he visualises himself scoring goals before a match. And before the 2012 Olympics, Jessica Ennis-Hill talked about how she used visualisation to see herself achieving in each of the events. Now, it might sound a bit woo-woo, but it's actually something that I use quite a lot about things that I'm nervous for. I'll sit down and I'll think about how I want things to go, how I want to feel at the end, and how I want the result to be. And I find that doing this really changes how I feel on the day. If I hadn't done it, I'd probably turn up as a bag of nerves, but actually I can turn up feeling fairly confident about how things are going to go. So visualize how you want your shoot to be, and then practice and practice and practice in the run up to it. So number 5 is to allow plenty of time for your photo shoot. Nobody is going to feel relaxed and enjoy their shoot if they're constantly watching the clock and thinking about where they need to be. So I usually recommend that if you have a photo shoot booked, you keep the rest of the day free, or at least keep your plans fluid, so that if the shoot does take a bit longer than you think, you can stay relaxed and calm and you're not worrying about where you need to be or where you need to go. Because if you're not relaxed, we will be able to see it in the photographs. The next tip is to have something to do while you're being photographed. So if you really can't face the thought of looking at the camera while you're being photographed, asking the photographer to give you something to do can really help distract you. Now, it could be something as simple as not looking at the camera and looking at your baby instead. It could be holding one of your children or leaning your hands on the back of a chair. Talk to your photographer about what will work for that photograph and what will work for you. But if you've got something else to focus on, then chances are you'll be thinking less about the camera and more about what you're doing, and you'll appear to be more relaxed. So number 7 is ask for direction. Now, what you'll probably find is that as you're being photographed, your photographer will talk fairly constantly or give you a lot of direction about what to do. Most of us do that deliberately because we know that there's nothing more awkward than silence while you're having your photograph taken. But if your photographer isn't giving you enough direction or you're not sure about what to do, don't be afraid to ask. If you're unsure, as I've said before, it's going to come across in the photographs. So make sure that you're really clear on what you need to be doing, that you're getting enough direction, enough chat from the photographer to feel relaxed, and do let them know or ask for more direction if you need it. And then finally, number 8, don't be afraid to give your photographer feedback. So if something is not working for you, if you just know that you feel really awkward and that you know you're not going to look relaxed in the photographs, ask them if you can change or do something different. Most photographers will much prefer that you tell them than you stand there awkwardly, feeling uncomfortable and not looking relaxed in the photographs. So don't be afraid to mention it, and if you've chosen a photographer who you have good chemistry with, it should be easy to bring it up. So I really hope that you found these tips helpful as you prepare for your photo shoot. I'd love to hear how you get on with them, what worked for you, what didn't, and any other tips you have to share. You can let me know in the comments below, or you can send me a message via my website. I'd love to hear from you, and I will get back to you.